tear it down. We want to make sure that right. Gotcha. Cool. Just go out there and hold. Gotcha. Would you call the roll, please?
Robert Kraus.
I'm present.
Jason Blair.
Here.
Melissa Hunt.
Here.
Terry Kavner.
Here.
David Roberts.
Here.
Mark Ham.
Here.
Glenn Lewis.
Here. Would you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting held September the 8th, 2015. Item B, receive the minutes of the regular Parks Board meeting held August 4th, 2015. Item C, approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2015-2016 in the amount of $2,798,454.75.
Move to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 3 is discuss and consider approval of a memorandum of understanding to create a regional transit authority task force for the purpose of developing a regional transit authority in central Oklahoma and authorize the expenditure of $31,165.97 in FY 15-16 to support said task force.
Make motion to approve.
Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson, you want to say anything? We appreciate you being here, by the way.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm John Johnson, Oklahoma City. Happy to answer any questions, clarify any concerns that you might have.
Are we going to get a stop?
Well, I would hope at least 2, Mayor.
Well, the reason we ask is because in our new park, we're looking at putting in a couple of things. One, we would like to have a stop there. Second, we would like to tie it in with this historical building, maybe a museum type thing, and it'll be based on railroad stuff. We would love to have a stop. And before we spend our hard-earned tax dollars, we want to make sure we're going to get one.
There should not be any trains running through Moore that don't stop.
Well,
And
Only stop here.
Yeah.
people get on and people get off, so there needs
Robert
to be
can
two
address that.
stations.
Yeah.
But yes, at least in the first study, there
Okay.
were 2 conceptual stations. And there would be further study that would need to be required. You have to do environmental, you have to do design, engineering, all of those kind of things. It's why it's so important that Moore's at the table talking and representing the citizens of Moore
Sure.
at that task force.
Well, I went to the first meeting, I think it was about 8 years ago when this was first talked about or something. It was a long time ago. And at that time, we weren't getting one. So it's like, well, why do we want to participate if we're not going to get one? But glad to hear you say it.
It's a fair question, and I wouldn't want to participate probably if I weren't getting one.
Sure.
Certainly along this corridor.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here.
All right.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote? We look forward to having it.
All right. Thank you.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 4 is consider a condemnation and demolition appeal for 3104 Twin Circle, application by Virgil Hayman.
Mayor and Council, this is the 3rd time we've heard this at the council meeting, so I'm not going to go over the history. I think by now you all know it. But just to let you know, I've included some pictures, updated pictures of what the property actually looks like today. There has been some progress made, but there's still a long ways to go. At the last council meeting, the decision was to condemn it, but I do know that we are now revisiting that tonight.
So we've started work on it.
He has started work on it, but I think that the important thing is if you decide to let him to continue work, is to get him on some very strict timelines. We have, myself, Stan, Gabe Savigny, our building official, has went out on site today. We actually met with Mr. Heyman on site. We walked through the project, looked at all of the work that he has done and still needs to be done. And we've come up with some, what we think is a fairly aggressive timeline. Basically, we've identified certain points in the project where he will need to meet specific dates. For example, he does need to set an electrical temporary pole. Right now, he's getting electricity from his neighbor through an extension cord, and this really needs to stop. So in order to do, we think that that would be the first inspection to be made. We think he can get that done in this week, by Friday. Then you move on to the siding, which needs to be installed. He indicated that he is working on that, and that we indeed saw the workers working on it. We think that that might take him a few weeks. So we would set the date at November 1st. Interior, he is going to need a rough-in inspection and a framing inspection. We believe that that can also be done on November 1st. We believe that then 30 days after that date, he should have all the sheetrock installed in the house. That gives him up to December 1st. And then we would make a final inspection on January 1st. We did actually had a more aggressive timeline when we first went out there, but after talking with Mr. Heyman, he did have some concerns about meeting that timeline. So we came up with this new timeline. We made it crystal clear to him that depending on what the council decides to do tonight, if he does not miss, or if he misses one of those deadlines, that it would revert back to a condemnation. We do have 3 demolition quotes that we've received, and so at any time we can go in and order the property to be demolished, depending on what council decides tonight. He was aware that that is what would happen, possibly, and he was in agreement to that. If that's the way that council does want to go, I would strongly recommend us getting this in writing with Mr. Heyman signing on the dotted line, so to speak, that he understands the consequences of what could happen if he doesn't meet these timelines. And he verbally said that he could meet them today. If you have any questions of staff, I'd be happy to answer them.
Mr. Heyman, is this agreeable to you?
Yes, sir. The adjusted timeline, I do not think I will have any problem meeting the adjusted timeline.
Okay.
Yeah.
By January 1st, be completed, done.
My thoughts are that unless you are absolutely certain this project can be completed by January the 1st, you ought to pull off of it tomorrow, because January the 1st, there is no gray area. We're going to issue a condemnation order if that thing's not finished.
I absolutely believe I can have it done by January 1st.
You better believe it with your whole heart, because it's going to happen.
Well, my feeling is that it should be written into the agreement that if he misses any deadlines, the condemnation moves forward, that we don't give him until January 1st.
That's exactly right.
So,
We already.
give him until January 1st as long as he's meeting the deadlines.
We've actually already passed the condemnation, and we have the bids. Steve is holding off to see, because the last thing this council wants to do is take anybody's house from her. We don't want to do that. We have enough tornadoes come through to take everybody's houses anyway. But at the same time, we have to respect the neighbors around you that have built there, that are staying there, and are rebuilding there. So it has to be a mutual deal, otherwise it don't work for anybody. So if you're agreeable to that, I'm agreeable to let you build it.
It's been over 3 years, and it's, there's just a lot of hand-holding, trying to walk you through this and trying, to get you to show up for meetings with the city staff. You're not showing up, and so is this a big deal or not? I mean, again, the neighbors that have lived there have to look at that for a long time, and they're frustrated, and they voice that to us, not only here, but through emails. And so I want to be responsible, and I don't want to tear somebody's home down. But yet it's just sat empty so long, and finally when D-Day is here, it's like, well, okay, maybe I need to start doing some stuff. And so if city staff thinks you can get a electric pole in your backyard by Friday, and at 5 p.m. on Friday it's not there, well, then we're done.
We're done.
You know, it's not, well, I just need one more day. No, you've had ample time. And I would agree with Councilman Roberts, if you don't feel as though you can fulfill it, then stop. Because you're going to invest money.
No,
and it's gonna be-
I don't have a problem. I do not have a problem with the new timeline.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I know I had a chance to visit with you today. And you made a concerning remark, and that was that you were going to do the bare minimum to get the city and the neighbors off your back. And so I just want to make sure that you understand that the bare minimum will be in writing, and if you you've got to get it done.
I want to see an occupiable dwelling there come January 1st. No shell or
Right.
anything like that. It's got to be ready for somebody to move into.
I don't have a problem with that.
You don't have.
I do not have a problem with the new timeline.
Now I know in the past you ran out of some finances. Do you have the finances to take care of everything now?
Yes, I have an investor now.
Okay.
And I have met with the investor lady.
Okay.
So what do we need to do?
Randy, what kind of a motion do we need to make on this?
Mr. Hammond, were you going to rent this house, or are you going to try and stay there?
I'm going to live in it.
You're going to live there, okay.
Yes, sir.
Does the city staff already have something drawn up?
No, we don't. What I've talked to Randy about is letting Randy draw up an agreement where it'll have those checkpoints or 3 inspections. And then even when he doesn't meet or pass one of those inspections, it reverts back to condemnation. And Randy, what's the timeline? You'll have that ready for his signature approved?
I can have that done in a couple of days.
Okay.
How, and Terry, and construction, how long does it take to get a utility pole or a?
Well, that could be problematic. I mean, depending on OG&E's workload. But he needs to get him an electrician. He needs to set the pole. If the pole's in place and he's called in for the inspection, I think that's suffice, because we can't control the utility company when they actually
So
heat up.
just set a pole and you can do
Right.
it by Friday. That's-
Well, and have an inspection made and approved, and we release it to the power company.
And the city does the inspection on it?
Right, we'll inspect the pole and then release it to either OEC or OG&E, whichever electrical company it is. I think that's OG&E, is it not?
I do believe so.
So if Mr. Brink can have it in a couple of days, I think that would be one of our first hurdles. You know, get the pole set and inspected by the city. And if it's not, and that would save everybody a lot. And if you're unable to do that, well, then we know what we're going to do. And you know what we're going to do.
And to all the neighbors, I just want to say thank you for bearing with us through this process. There's certain things that I've learned about this process, even here in the last couple of hours, so there's certain legal things that we have to go through, as you understand. So, but thank you, and we're trying to make everyone's neighborhoods nice, so thank you very much for bearing with us.
Could I say one thing?
Yes, sir.
I just want to thank you all with my representatives, that you guys were so responsive to my emails and my concern about what's going on in my neighborhood. I truly appreciate that. It's nice to see. We don't get much out of that out of Washington, D.C., but it's nice. It's nice to see it here. My only concern with it is he's never hit a timeline yet.
Right.
When he got his letters back for condemnation back in June, I had to let him know, because he doesn't come around. It's just one of those things. He's never around until a tragedy happens. So yeah, if you'll hold his feet to the fire, I'm fine with that. But if he misses one, I'm telling you now, I'll be shocked, because he had to get the money from his fiance just to put the roof on. So I don't know about who's financing him now, but, yeah, he's not a multimillionaire that's doing this, so.
And I think that's the importance of the agreement, that if he does miss a deadline, we don't have to come and have this
Yeah,
conversation
yeah.
again, it automatically
We're
happens.
not gonna go find him.
Good,
I
okay.
can tell you that.
That's fine with
Deadline's
us.
done, that's, yeah, it's coming in.
Yeah, just knowing his track record,
Yeah,
so.
y'all have had to put up with way too
Way
much.
too long.
Okay.
You know, I'm almost embarrassed to sit here and recognize what has occurred and so forth, and that we're even at this point, because probably we should have dropped the hammer
Long
a
ago.
long time
Yeah.
ago.
Well, that was, Robert and I met over there today, and that's kind of what I was hinting to, my questions to you about how long has this been going on, how come you're, it's not your problem, we don't know about it, we don't know anything about it, it's up from here. So I think we're all a little bit embarrassed it's gotten to this point, but I think we're where we need to be.
Oh, I certainly do. I really do appreciate your responses.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, the motion that can be made is to grant the appeal
Come on up.
Yeah.
pursuant to the written terms and conditions of the agreement between the city and Mr. Hank.
Okay, thank you.
My name's Kathleen Metcalf. I live across the street from his house. I have seen him more over there this past 10 days than I've seen him the whole time he's owned the house. He has been months gone by between the times that he has been over there. He has brought stuff over and unloaded it. But this is the first time I've actually seen him clean out some of the junk out of his backyard and haul it off. I would appreciate it if you made sure that he had licensed contractors to do the electricity and the plumbing. I mean, the house burned down once. I wouldn't want it to do it again. And I appreciate all the work that you've done with us, the neighbors, and even with him. If he meets all the requirements, that's fine. But if he doesn't, I don't want him to lose his house. You know, I would hate to be in that position. And I know it's hard to get money, and I know what it's like to go through probate and you lose parents and husbands and all of this, because I've done it. It's just that I really want y'all to stay on top of it.
Ma'am, he'll have to have licensed, bonded, and insured contractors, or they will not be able to pull permits.
Well, I'm not sure where he's getting these people that are over there now working on it. Could be anywhere. They could have records, I don't know. I'm just saying I would appreciate it if y'all did stand behind your license and all of that stuff, and your inspections.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
I make a motion to recognize the appeal pursuant to Mr. Brink's wordage.
Good job, Robert.
Does that work, Mr. Brink? Can I say that?
That will probably work, but I'm sure everyone understands what they're voting on.
Okay. Everybody understand?
Yes.
Do we have a second?
So,
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? If not, would you call for the vote?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes.
And Stan, could you just keep us updated through emails or something, if he misses a deadline or late his deadlines, or Elizabeth, somebody, whoever.
Would it be suffice to, after each inspection, to send council an email?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hammond.
Item number 5 is consider approval of the lot combination located in the south half of Section 26, Township 10 North, Range 3 West, being south of Southwest 27th Street and east of the I-35 Service Road, application by Mission Point Apartments.
Mayor and council, this property consists of 3.75 acres of vacant property. It's currently zoned C3, and it abuts the Mission Point Apartments on the west and the BNSF Railroad tracks on the east. The applicant is Case Apartments, the owner of the Mission Point Apartments. They do wish to split this property from the larger undeveloped commercial tract and combine it with the existing apartments. The purpose of this combination is not to build new apartments. They simply want a buffer area between themselves and the railroad that they can control. If this item is approved tonight, the C3 zoning is still in place. You cannot build apartments in C3 zoning without coming for a rezoning first before Planning Commission and City Council. And in fact, they couldn't even build a commercial property there if they wanted to without first coming through Planning Commission and City Council to get it platted. So this is simply just their desire to control the property that abuts them. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Make a motion, we approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 6 is considered declaring a 1995 quality Spartan fire apparatus VIN number, oh wow, this is a long number, 4S7DT9K05SC018584 as surplus and authorize staff to dispose or donate as deemed appropriate.
Mayor and council staff would request that this piece of equipment be declared as surplus and disposed of it as donated or deemed appropriate, however you see fit. This, if you recall, is the apparatus we bought right after the Taps fire back in 1996. The piece of equipment has over 127,000 miles on it now, a little over 14,000 hours. And the apparatus you saw last council meeting was replacing this piece of equipment.
Okay.
I would just have just a couple of quick comments and then just a quick motion. I had an opportunity to speak with most of you in person or via email. Would like to consider donating it to the city of Lexington. And as a deputy sheriff, that's where our patrol is out in the country, out in the county, and there's volunteer fire departments here in our county. And so it's a 20-year-old fire engine. But there's departments out there that would be grateful to have a piece of equipment like that. It would be not brand new, but it would sure replace something that's probably 30 or 40 years old. So knowing the city of Lexington and they have a volunteer fire department, I'd like for us to approve this as surplus and donate it to the city of Lexington.
Okay.
It's over 20 years old to us, and I have spoken to their chief, and they're looking to replace the 1980 model fire apparatus that they're still using.
And they're also part of the task force, the Cleveland County Task Force. I know that in the tornadoes, they come up here to help, and their grass fires will go out there to help. So all that equipment stays here and benefits all the people in sometimes our own city or at least in our county.
So you're comfortable with this arrangement?
I have no problem.
I have to ask, Randy, can we do that?
Yes, under our ordinances, once it is declared obsolete, council can donate it to other political subdivisions.
Okay, thanks. I knew the answer, I just have to ask it.
Whatever your
Okay.
motion is.
So your motion is to donate it to the city of Lexington after it's declared a surplus. You're going to declare it a surplus and donate it.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else want to make a second to that?
Second.
All right, thank you. We
Just a
have,
comment, I think it's a great idea.
yeah, I do
Glad we
too.
can do it.
Would you call for the vote, please?
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes. Item carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Item number 7 is consider approval of a contract with Innovative Emergency Management Corporate for preparation of NDRC Phase 2 application.
Mayor and Council, the National Disaster Resilience Competition is seeking innovation resilience projects to better prepare communities for future weather events. This competition is available to states, counties, and local governments that had presidentially declared disasters in 2011 through 13. In June of 2015, Housing and Urban Development announced the City of Moore was a finalist In this competition, 67 eligible entities were narrowed down to 40, and we are one of 7 that made it to cities that made it to phase 2. In August, we requested proposals from qualified firms to develop the city's phase 2 application. We accepted proposals early September. I received 1 proposal from Innovative Emergency Management. They also developed our phase 1 application. The original proposal came in at around $97,000. After negotiations, the final contract amounts $81,191.39. Staff recommends approval of this contract, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
What do they do for us? What is involved?
So it's to answer the federal requirements of the phase 1 or phase 2 application. So we have partnerships with about 10 entities that they're coordinating with, and so they're developing we've developed the projects that we have are laying forward, so they are turning it into HUD speak and making a fundable proposal.
What's the pot of money that we're going for?
So the 18 billion that was originally allocated for Hurricane Sandy, there's 1 billion left of that, and they have to HUD by law has to allocate it before September 2016, and so this is their last and final to get rid of the $1 billion. So now there's currently 40 entities eligible and competing for this $1 billion through this process.
What are we going to do with the money? Spend it.
There you go.
What?
We currently have 4 projects, so there's a joint partnership with the City of Oklahoma City to make capital improvements at the Draper Water Treatment Facility. There's a smart water metering system for our residential meters, a climate vulnerability assessment, and a resiliency center / library proposed.
That's it?
That's it, and that equals roughly 90 million in requests.
Okay.
Oklahoma City should like us.
Well, no kidding. I wish they just fixed the stoplight out there at Sunny Lane. That'd be great. I'm not asking for a whole lot.
Make a motion to approve the contract.
Okay, thanks.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item number 8 is consider and if deemed appropriate, amend the contract with Silver Star Construction Company Incorporated entered into pursuant to bid number 1314-014 by agreement of the parties amending the termination date only, with all other provisions to remain in full force and effect.
Mayor and council, if approved, this will renew the existing contract with Silver Star Construction. The fee schedule will not change. The only change will be the termination date, and it will be June 30th of 2016. If there's any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them.
This is another one of those Randy questions. Can we do this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we will recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item number 9 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Public Works Authority meeting held September the 8th, 2015. Item B, approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2015-2016 in the amount of $421,210.02.
Move to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Yes, okay, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 10 is consider authorizing staff to negotiate with the city's current agents for 2016 insurance policies for property and contents excess public officials and employment practices liability and group life insurance.
Mayor and trustees, we need to start working on our 2016 insurance renewals. The staff recommends that the MPWA trustees authorize the staff to negotiate with the current insurance agents for the policies listed. This is a process we've used for several years.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
And I'll second.
All right, thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Abstain.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Okay, at this time, we'll recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item number 11 is the consent docket. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Risk Management meeting held September the 8th, 2015. Item B, approve and ratify claims and expenditures for 2015-2016 in the amount of $211,368.05.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you both. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we will recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and convene the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting. Terry?
Item 12 is roll call. Call the roll, please.
Robert Kraus,
Present.
Jason Blair,
Here.
Melissa Hunt,
Here.
Glenn Lewis,
Here.
David Roberts,
Here.
Mark Ham,
Here.
Terry Kavner.
Here. Item 13 is the consent docket. Item A, receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Economic Development Authority meeting held August 17th, 2015.
Move to approve.
Second. Questions, comments? Would you call for the vote, please?
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes. Item passes. This time we will receive the Moore Economic, we will recess the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting and reconvene the city council meeting.
All right, thank you. Let the minutes reflect that all the members that were present are still present. Item number 14 is new business. Citizens forum for items not on the agenda is item A. There's no one signed up. Would anyone like to speak? Okay. Item B is items from the city council or trustees.
I just have one. On October 13th, the Moore Public Schools will have a $209 million bond issue for election. Is there possible that we could put some information on our website to kind of help put the awareness out of what the bond issue is about? Would that be feasible?
It's already on there.
Oh,
Well, I've got
you work fast. Very good.
Yeah, it's done. All the videos are rolling on
Oh.
YouTube.
Never mind. I guess maybe I should watch that channel.
It's on the website too.
Well, thanks, Deidre.
Of course.
And briefly, I gave each council person one of these, and this is the result of the History of Moore Museum survey that we did online, and approximately 650 participated in it. We're meeting the 24th at committee, look over it, talk about it, discuss it. I just wanted you to have this for your own information to read, and the comments that are those that participated are interesting and a little entertaining and colorful. So it'll be an interesting read as to people's thoughts and how we should proceed with that. And then one other quick thing, just kind of a fun deal. This Friday, Moore High School's having their homecoming, and we're going to, last year we did a little, the Alumni Association raised some money to replace the teeth that were in the old line that was donated by the class of 64 or 65. Can't really, I don't recall. And that line sat in the old high school just north of us here. But talked with Charlie Cotton, and he's willing to donate that line or to give that line back to Moore High School, get it back up to its home where it's supposed to be. He did ask that no dentists be allowed to be around the line because of the shooting. Anyways, we have enough money to have the line completely refurbished, and so he's 50 years old, and he should last for another 50 years. And we're going to present him at the homecoming, which is about, I think, 1:30, their assembly that they have, and just looking forward to it. And the line's going to look awesome. So if you're out and about, come to the homecoming, check out the office, and go to the assembly, and be a part of that. And if you can't, then come to the game between Southmore and Moore High School. It'll be good. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Hey, you didn't mention the date on that. You know the date?
The Lion?
Yeah, the game.
Oh, the 25th.
The 25th.
This Friday.
It's this Friday.
This Friday, okay. Okay,
Yeah, the big homecoming parade will come right down the street and everything.
That's right.
all right. Anybody else? Item C is from the city manager, trust manager.
Mayor, the only thing I have, we should start construction on the widening project on 19th Street any day. That's the area between Fritz Boulevard and Eagle Drive. We'll be extending widening to the north. All the utility conflicts are taken care of, and that should be a quick job if everything goes like planned. That's all I have.
Okay. Item 15 is executive session. Section 307, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes permits the public body to meet in executive session for certain specified reasons under certain specified conditions. It is the opinion of the city attorney that the city council may consider and adopt a motion to meet in executive session to discuss the following items. Item A, discuss, consider, and if deemed appropriate, take possible action regarding pending claim by Michelle and Michael Borg against the city of Moore, and authorize legal counsel and staff to take action as necessary and appropriate in the interest of the city of Moore as authorized by 25 Oklahoma statutes 307B-4. Do we have a motion to meet in executive session?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you both. Would you call for the vote, please?
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, we are convened to executive session. Thank you for coming. Shouldn't be Did that one time, bought Christmas
That's
paper.
a good call, though. I
Kids.
talked to her on the
I was
phone.
like, off the rollers about that margarine.
Oh.
It was pretty bad.
I've got 10% left, though.
I signed that already.
Okay.
So, you know.
Let's see. Oh, must be a mic, huh?
Would you call the roll back from the executive session, please?
Robert Kraus,
President.
Jason Blair,
Here.
Melissa Hunt,
Here.
Terry Kavner.
Here.
David Roberts,
Here.
Mark Ham,
Here.
Glenn Lewis.
Here, do we have a motion on executive session?
Motion to deny.
All right, the motion
Second.
is deny, second is to deny. Would you call the vote, please?
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes. Motion is denied. Item 16 is adjournment.
So moved.
All
Second.
right, thank you both. Thank you all four. Would you call the
Jason
vote,
Blair,
please?
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Terry Kavner, David Roberts,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, we are adjourned. Thank you for coming.
And,